Dear students, I'm here with you today to give you some tips about how should you write your answer for sociology mains. You know, certain basic guidelines you must have to follow to improve your presentation and your marks as well. First of all, you have to take a good night's sound sleep before your exam. Whatever you have to study, after finishing your GS paper today, you study till Saturday and keep night before your exam as the rest day. More you give rest to your mind, better you will be in a position to interconnect the things, recall the inputs, and write creative answer. So first thing is that you should not be feeling tensed at any point of time. And there is no need to primarily feel tensed for the reason, whatever you have read, trust me, you will never be getting questions beyond what you have read. You will never be getting questions beyond what you have written and practiced. Because every test series intends to make it sure that entire paper is covered. Minute details of the paper is primarily picked up to frame questions. Therefore, whatever test series you may be doing, your syllabus is revised 2 to 3 times. Full-length paper, one is primarily revising the syllabus once. Sectional test, you are revising the syllabus once again. And while making question papers, we keep in mind the probable questions. So therefore, chance of getting questions directly or indirectly out of what you have done in the test series is quite remote. So rest assured, you have studied the subject, understood the content, written the test. So there is no need to feel panic or no need to feel tensed. You can afford to relax, soothe your mind, and write a good paper. When you are reading the paper, don't read the questions in a hurry. A paper setter is always giving a clue to what he wants to know from the student in the question itself. For example, if I'm giving a question, what is the dialectical relationship between sociology and psychology? So if you are reading the question in a hurry, the word dialectical you will be missing out. You'll be writing an answer on the relationship between sociology and psychology. So your entire answer would be on what sociology has borrowed from psychology and vice versa. And that is not the demand of the question, and you lose marks for that. Dialectics means sociology and psychology, they stand poles apart from each other. They share a conflicting relationship. Because psychology studies individual cognition, individual mind, and sociology studies social structure, social relationship, social conflict, social continuity. So till the arrival of phenomenologists, it was perceived that subject matter of sociology is different from subject matter of psychology. You add on to it how Durkheim is glorifying this distinction by saying, social fact can be clearly distinguished from non-social fact that includes psychological fact. A person is sleeping or studying is a psychological fact. But in a library, when you all are studying, that is normal social fact. You are expected to study in the library, not to talk to each other. Therefore, when you are studying, because the social context want you to study, that is sociology. Collective way of doing things. Then John Stuart Mill and Durkheim debate you can bring in here. So read the question carefully. If a question comes, same sociology and psychology. Sociology and psychology share reciprocal relationship. It means you cannot study society in isolation with the study of individual psychology. Introduction theory of G.H. Mead will be coming here. Phenomenology will be coming here. Dramatology will be coming here. And if you get a question, same topic, compare between sociology and psychology. Similarities and differences you have to write. So bottom line is, in every question or most of the question that a paper setter gives you is intelligently framed, and unless you read each word of the question carefully, you may miss out the important thrust of the question. So my first advice to all of you would be, read questions at peace with full concentration. Number two, when you are reading a question, divide the question into different parts. Most of the time, long questions will be having 2 to 3 parts. So if you are dividing the question into 3 parts, then you get to know about how to organize and structure your answer. Give equal importance to all parts of the question. Suppose a question comes in paper 1, examine the relevance of Marxist approach to understand globalized society with reference to India. Marxian theory one part, globalized society another part, India third part. Which aspect of Marxian theory we can apply to globalized India, a globalized world? And which aspect of this theory, application of Marxian theory to globalized world, can be applicable to India? Commodity production you can talk about. You can talk about how rich is becoming richer and poor is becoming poorer. So all these points, you can thread them together. All the points you can illustrate effectively. If you divide the question into different parts, your answer will be focused. Content will be highly organized. You will not be repeating the points. And you will not be going beyond the scope of the question. And most importantly, if each part of the question is addressed, then in each part, if you get 60%, your score goes very high. So, divide question into different parts, and on the basis of merit, address to each part of the question. So therefore, answer will be systematic, organized, answer will be, effective, and will be getting good marks for that. And in every question, some key words are used. Discuss, illustrate, analyze, critically explain, elucidate. So look into the whole question, and in that context, you make a sense of these words and prefixes used. And always keep in mind, if in a question, the word critically analyze is not there, that never does mean you will not be writing 2 lines on limitations to that theory. You can take liberty of writing limitations to that theory even when critically examine is not mentioned. But when critically examine is mentioned specifically, the statement given that should be evaluated on the basis of its limitations. Don't just elaborate the statement that is given. Don't justify the statement that is given. Critically means you analyze that from critical standpoint. Critical never does mean criticism. Some points may be missing out that you can highlight. Limitations to the approach you can also highlight. So that you have to give importance. And one thing you remember, when you are writing an answer, specifically long questions, introduction is the face of your answer. So when you are writing an introduction, make it precise, organized, expressive, and all inclusive. When I use these words, I'm very, very careful. Since introduction is, all about what you are going to write. So in introduction, you spell it out. This question, what it demands, write that. And what all you are going to explain, you write that. So first, look into the answer of the examiner goes to your introduction. So therefore, very many times students write with a quotation, first write an answer with a quotation. And don't arbitrarily write quotation. There are some, misunderstanding. People believe by writing a quotation will be getting better marks, but quotation should be apt. Quotation should be befitting to the demand of the question. I'm giving you one example here. Suppose a question comes on sociological analysis of ritual, and you have studied ritual in Durkheim. Don't jump into the conclusion, or don't jump into this idea that ritual means Durkheim study of ritual. You can start with a quotation there. Ritual is like a social battery. When solidarity becomes weak, it is reinforcing strong solidarity among the people. Ritual includes collective assembly of people, common emotion, common participation, common sense of belongingness. Durkheim. Saying so, also you write. Sociologists not only study ritual, only in the spectrum of religion. Voting behavior can also become ritualistic. Students are going to library in a routine manner, not concentrating on study. So their presence in the library is also becoming ritualistic. Traditional farmers are throwing seeds into their land soon after rain, being least concerned about how the crop is growing, how best production can be possible. That is also ritualistic. Ritualistic is a form of repetitive way of doing things. So sociology always looks into a phenomena from different perspective. So what ritual means in the domain of religion, that is not ritual when we are using it in sociological parlance in the field of agriculture, in the field of academics, in the field of routine behavior of a bureaucrat. Ritual. Then you write. Durkheim explains ritual to explain social solidarity. And Weber tells how this ritualistic behavior in a bureaucratic structure that may give rise to non-performance or red tapeism. Ritualistic behavior, how it is giving rise to continuity of culture. Therefore, sociological analysis of ritual is primarily having multiple facets. Many people will not be able to think about it because they go with a prefixed mind. So therefore, always keep your mind open, elastic, thought-provoking. So that you have to do. So more you do that, more you are coming close to 300 marks. No stress, just relax, enjoy the question, think and write. That is the beauty of sociology. And one thing always you remember, in general studies, you write facts. In sociology, you go for analysis. Whose analysis is comprehensive, better, organized, he will be getting good score as against others. Therefore, how much of content you carry, that is not important. how you are expressing yourself, analyzing the question that is being given to you, organizing your answer, that ultimately determines your performance and score. Few more things I'll be telling you. Very often it is being asked when you are writing the answer, body part of the answer I'm talking about, whether we should be writing in points, whether we should be writing in paragraphs, which method is best. So most of the time you have these doubts. At this point of time, I'll be just telling you, whatever method you have followed so far, you stick to it. Don't change your method at this point of time. But always remember, you are writing a sociology answer for a sociology professor. And in every theme of sociology, there is a debate. Because the essence of sociology is to look at a phenomena from multidimensional perspective. To look at a phenomena by reflecting on it. From critical perspective, analytical perspective. Therefore, history is descriptive and sociology is analytical. Sociology is reflexive in character. Sociology is looking at phenomena from multidimensional perspective. Three things you always keep in mind. Three things. Sociology is looking at a phenomena from multidimensional perspective. Sociology goes for reflexive and critical understanding of reality, or any topic for that matter. So therefore, in sociology, caste, there are so many views. Religion, so many views, जिसको तुम approaches बोलते हो. So that is what is sociology. And if you write in points by saying, Marx says this, Durkheim says this, Weber says this, Parkin tells this. So in that way, it is just primarily a kind of, information you are throwing on the face of the examiner. For example, you get a question. More science tries to displace religion. More religion is becoming a social necessity. Explain that with reference to, suppose, Weber and Durkheim. So Durkheim and Weber has not spoken about it. More science is replacing religion. More religion is creating a space for itself. They are not speaking about it. But examiner is trying to understand your thinking capacity, your capacity to connect the things together. So science represents your modernity. Science represents your technological progress. Science represents your rationality. Therefore, more we are becoming rational, more we are becoming progressive, more we are becoming law-bound, more we are becoming organized, goal-oriented, we give priority to primarily industry and enterprise, priority to our vocation, priority to our health. We give priority to our own well-being. So therefore, in that particular context, religion, which is a collective phenomena, that is being sidelined. But in actuality, more we are becoming goal-oriented, more we are obsessed with our work, personal success. And most of the time, we are not able to achieve what we have planned to achieve. Disillusionment, frustration, restlessness. Therefore, new world religions are making appearance. That you have studied religious revivalism. Write that in paragraph. Then you come back to Durkheim and write. Durkheim never makes a distinction between sacred, that is religion, and secular, that is science. He is making an attempt to understand how religion gives rise to admiration to society. Religion promotes social integration. So for the continuity of society, religion becomes important because religion means society itself. And Weber tells, when science, technology, rationality, and various forms of rationality is talking about, practical rationality, theoretical rationality, substantive rationality. So when these rationalities are making appearance, old religion is not befitting to, is not supporting to individual aspiration for economic progress, rationalization of society. So therefore, we have to amend that old religion to bring forward a new kind of religion. Hence Protestant ethics. See how you are relating. Protestant ethics is a product of a rational world that is created after maybe, enlightenment. So therefore, that Protestant religion, after Renaissance, when Protestant religion is coming into prominence, it is getting a primarily mass endorsement during Enlightenment period. It is because of what? Overall rationality is making appearance in a big way, and Protestantism is a product of that. Aristotle talks about it. So therefore, you'll be writing it. Though Weber tells Protestant ethics gives rise to capitalism, Weberian sociology is not a closed sociology, because Weber believes cause can be converted into consequence and vice versa. Therefore, it is Protestant ethics that gives rise to capitalism. Capitalism can also give rise to Protestant values. So therefore, growth of rationality is not displacing religion. So religion is readjusting itself, modifying itself to fit into demands of the rational world. When rationality fails to bring happiness to the people, new world religions make appearance. Society worship is also a form of rational pursuit that we can understand through Durkheim's study of religion. So, bring a particular concept and aptly apply that to a given sociological theory. So that will be giving you excellent marks. So here what I'm telling you is, when you are developing an argument, in points you cannot explain your mind, your thought, your ideas. Therefore, in such kind of question, use paragraphs. So there are certain questions where you can write in points. Suppose pattern variable theory of persons you are writing. Pattern variable A, pattern variable B. There you can be using points. So therefore, you should be very judicious to know where to use the points, where to use the paragraphs, where to write a primarily good introduction, and where just you have to hit at the bullseye. When you are writing short note, make it a point. Every short note will be written within maximum in 15 sentences, maybe a little less than that. So you measure your words. And you have to organize your short notes. That is very important. In long question, you have liberty to elaborate, explain, bring dimensions. In short note, you have to look into what question exactly wants you to write. Suppose question comes on sociology and common sense as a short note. Okay. So when you're writing this kind of question, first sentence you write. In relation to interface between common sense and sociology, there are present two different sociological positions. Positivists consider that sociology being a science, common sense is supposition, imagination, hearsay, assumption. So therefore, common sensual knowledge don't have any space in sociological research. Sociology should always go for empirically verifiable facts. However, opposite view. There is a sociological tradition that believes phenomenology you are talking about, dramatology you are talking about, interaction theory you are talking about. So you are talking about the fact that every actor, using his common sense, is reacting, reflecting, making judgments about the behavior of others, about the conditions surrounding him, about the events taking place around him. So that common sense knowledge comes out of socialization. Common sense knowledge comes out of his own primarily activization of mind, past experience. So therefore, as Peter Berger rightly points out, facts don't fall from the sky. From our everyday life, everyday behavior, relationship, something develops that becomes treasure for sociology. For example, family doesn't exist in reality. A woman is talking to primarily her child. They're fighting, they're arguing, they're developing cordial relationship, they're going to watch a movie. So driven by different moods, motivations, their behavior is changing. And from out of that, what family is made now is not family interactions of the second next. And at the same time, we have to remember, most of the customs that we follow are the product of common sense. Weber tells how common sense is a product of the shared culture of the people that we must have to respect to. So therefore, here when you are talking about common sense, you bring sociological debate on common sense. They are writing common sense is all primarily, absurd knowledge, imagination, presumption. Common sense has no place in sociology without mentioning positivistic view. And sociology is a scientific discipline, goes for organized scientific research. If you write such kind of answer, so then you will not be getting good score. Therefore, any question that comes in sociology has a debate involved in that. So if you know the debate, attend that question. If you have partial knowledge, then you mention primarily that what you know, and other debate also you give passing reference about it. You will not be penalized heavily. But examiner will get to know that you know the entire debate. So that is important for you. And sometimes you'll be finding out questions are coming which are looking like GS questions. And you'll be facing many such kind of questions are coming in paper 2. For example, if you are getting a question on a healthcare scheme of the government, Ayushman Bharat ke upar you are getting a question. And that's a long question. Inclusive society is primarily centering around the question of inclusive health. Examine the significance of Ayushman Bharat in relation to this policy. So here you don't primarily give the details about Ayushman Bharat program, Jan Aushadhi scheme. First, to bring in the question of health. In contemporary world, health is becoming a major source of inequality. And to guarantee a quality health, we need nutritional food. We need good environment. We need regular source of income. So therefore, health is very important to define the class position of a person, economic security of the family. So therefore, health is also producing hierarchies in the context of India. Daily healthcare system is also arranged in a hierarchical order in a capitalist society. So best of the best healthcare, you have to make best of the best payment. Least of the least healthcare, so it may be available to you at free of cost, or it may be available to you at a minimal price. Therefore, people suffering from poverty are spending less in healthcare sector. And most of the time, since there is no demand for healthcare, facilities are not available. Look at tribal society, remote villages of the country. Therefore, to improve their health, once you are improving the health of a person, you are not only increasing his productive capacity, but also he is not dependent on the state for his sustenance. And if he is maintaining quality health, he is making contribution to national economic growth. So therefore, health and economic growth are important. Health and human rights are important. Quality life is important. Health and hygiene are important. And here you can bring in the question of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Here you can bring in the question of right to environment is right to life. So in this way, various dimensions you can bring in. Therefore, Ayushman Bharat is not just primarily a policy. It intends to offer quality health services to the poor people, guaranteeing them their basic right to live a dignified life. Using science and technology to the healthcare delivery system for primarily making man decent, make a decent income and live a comfortable life. So very many dimensions you bring in and write the answer. And here also you can bring in different theories of sociology. Spending on gender health is quite minimal. So if free health service is available to women, they will be having better health care service. So gender inequality in health can be addressed. Inequality, ethnic inequality in health service can also be addressed. So therefore, in a welfare society, through primarily many kind of progressive healthcare schemes, many patterns of inequality in society can be effectively addressed. That will make a beautiful answer. And most importantly, you have to keep in mind, you must have to manage your time effectively. Make sure you are attending all the questions in the exam. If you are missing a question, you are losing 10 marks. If you are writing less in one question, you are losing out 1 mark. If you write anything, you get at least 2-3 marks, and that makes world of difference in your ranking and success. So therefore, time management is very important, and you must have to primarily give importance on time management. And don't go for selective preparation. These are the core areas. These are the non-core areas. We'll be focusing more on this part, less on that part. Don't do. Nowadays, you'll be finding out at least 1 to 2 questions you are getting from all chapters. So just read your entire syllabus. And one more important thing I'm talking about. Don't chapterize your syllabus. Your syllabus is giving you sociological knowledge about family, about religion, about economy, about theory, about stratification, about change and everything. The entire syllabus is a treasure through which you get sociological imagination and knowledge. So therefore, whatever you are reading in sustainable development, that you can apply to agriculture. That you can apply to health. That you can apply to child's right, women's right. So therefore, what you are studying in one area, that you can effectively use in another area so that your answer can be distinguished from the answer of others and you can have an advantage. So that is most important thing you have to remember. In paper 2, the beauty of scoring a good mark in paper 2 is that, I'm worried at times. You consider a sociological answer will be one, where you drop names, write case studies. That is not the way to get good marks. The examiner is sitting there to understand how you are handling a particular question, reflecting on that, and organizing your answer. Suppose a question which regularly comes, more the caste is becoming weaker, more the caste is becoming stronger. This question comes in different ways. Caste as a system is replaced by caste as an identity. Secular role of caste is more prominent today than against its ritual role. Caste and politics are strongly interconnected in Indian democracy. So you get same kind of question in different ways. Devdurai M. N. Srinivas talks about this in caste, Gure talks about this in caste. See, always keep this in mind. If your answer is reflecting on contemporary conditions, then examiner will get to know he is not only collecting inputs from books. This boy is carrying or girl is carrying an imaginative idea to use a sociological concept to the contemporary conditions. For example, suppose question comes, caste is becoming weaker and at the same time caste is becoming stronger. Caste is no longer an institution directly influencing to the everyday life of the people. Rather, caste is playing a very significant role in public sphere activities. It is evident from the fact in the political horizon of the country today, there is a great debate on classification of castes, subcategorization of caste, to highlight whether a caste is deprived or a section of a particular caste are deprived, so that public policy can directly reach out to them. Whatever may be the orientation of the political parties, but still they bring caste to the center stage to mobilize a body of population and convert this population into their vote bank. So we are starting with this. You are not talking about 1960s, 1960s, 70s debate that caste-based political parties have developed, caste associations are developing. You have read that in the book, but these books were written in 1970s. Then you can bring in primarily quest for reservation by Marathas. It's a big issue, becoming a political slogan. So thereafter you can bring in the other issues. How endogamous marriage is quite low in the context of India. How IITs studies are conducted are known as Iyer Iyengar University in Madras, Technological Institute. Because most of the Brahmins are their teachers, they are researchers, they are the students. So use that Bourdieu's concept, cultural capital. People endowed with cultural capital go for reproduction of that cultural capital. Therefore, going for quality education becomes a part of culture. Another community, it's a struggle. Therefore, caste defines your academic success as a cultural capital. Caste is becoming a political slogan. Caste is giving scope for collective mobilization. Caste is giving a form of identity for writing literature like Dalit literature. Therefore, more we are talking about caste disappearing, more caste is coming into prominence because we need caste for differential purpose at contemporary point of time. Therefore, hierarchy that was present in caste is no longer present. Therefore, a system is converted into an identity, as Dipankar Gupta rightly points out. So caste hierarchy is no longer strong, but at the same time, caste relationships are becoming profound. Then you can talk about social media, how they are primarily able to connect the caste groups. So this is how, bottom line is, use this 7 days time to think, imagine, gather the content, don't write unnecessary things, don't repeat it, don't make repetitions, write in good handwriting, structured answer, and as and when there is a need, you write in points, and when there is a necessity, you write in paragraphs. At times you can bring in flowcharts, but don't primarily fill your answer with all the flowcharts. Sociology is no physics. You cannot write the points and tell the examiner that I know everything. He's not interested just in primarily content. He's interested in your understanding of content, your application of that content that you have gathered, and how you are writing, expressing yourself. Hope you all will be doing best. My best wishes are with you. Do well, achieve laurels in life. Best of luck. Thank you. Thank you so much.